Fantastic, thank you very much. So, my name is Vynn. I am going to be speedrunning Faith Chapter 3, and we are going to be attempting Ending 2. So, for those who are unaware, just basically, the run begins first movement and ends on the game over screen with the Gary Loves You ending. So, I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and we are going to get started from there. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So, for any of those who are unaware of what the Fate series is, it is inspired by the 80s Satanic Panic, which took place in North America. And what is the story? Well, basically, a woman named Lisa reached out to us because she needed help. And basically, this is the teaser for the third entry of the actual trilogy. So there's going to be 3 games in total. There are flashbacks to areas in Fate Chapter 1, as well as in Fate Chapter 3 in this, or 2, excuse me, in this. And one of them is here. And that is Amy Martin, who was in the first entry of the Fate series. And she was a girl who we unsuccessfully tried to exorcise, so she has been haunting us ever since. But in our attempt to try and stop the cult, we are now here. So, in terms of actual tech, we do have our trusty crooks with us, and we use that to try and defeat the evil among us. However, the issue is, with this game, it's a little bit different. It doesn't work on all of the enemies. However, we are going to use it on this right here. So in order to do what I just did, we just did basically what is essentially a pause buffer. People can actually use a frame-perfect tap on their spacebar, because this is PC, to try and get that infinite crux usage. However, it's kind of finicky, so I just prefer to go back and use the good old pause and buffer. So I am also going to mention one thing. There is a new tech, basically a sequence break, which we have found because someone believed there really wasn't a 7th floor, and believe me, there is no 7th floor. However, because of this, we have actually managed to sequence break the actual hell out of this game, but the only problem is with that, it is a terribly boring run to play, and nothing ever happens because everything is so broken. So we are going to say we're not going to do this whatsoever, and we are just going to throw our crooks down the chute, and lo and behold, we have been caught. So, after this, we can just go to basically any floor, and we're just going to be led astray for a little bit. So, the seal that you saw on that door is allegedly the seal of Alu. Alu we will actually be coming and meeting in a few minutes. And I am going to have to say, those who have photosensitivities, I would advise you to look away now just for a while. Because we're going to be thrust into darkness. There is going to be a whole lot of imagery. We're going to be doing a little photography session. I am going to try and limit the usage of the camera if I can. However, I do need to kind of see where I am, so you will have to bear with me with that. But the more that you actually use the camera, funnily enough, you have a chance of seeing a particular demon who, again, we will also be seeing a little bit later. And as you use the camera, you'll also be seeing our eye bleeding. There will be also just cult members throwing themselves at us, but also, I wanted to show that specifically. If you get too close to those guys and you're using your camera, they're not going to be happy. They hate the light, and the light is how you keep them away. It is how you keep yourself safe. And basically, they will say, if you want to actually get that little tidbit, they will say chaos reigns and repeatedly give you some nasty handshakes with a scissors or a dagger. But needless to say, we don't want that. And unfortunately, I've taken too many images. This particular area is in Faith Chapter 1. It is essentially where we were trying to exorcise Amy, and it didn't go according to plan. So now we're going to go deep into the basement of this entire area, and we're going to see another little visitor who we had seen in Faith Chapter 2. It is a shy little demon. He's just looking for someone. He's just wanting to say hi right now. I assure you he is a very kind and gentle soul. And he is just trying to search for his mother. But unfortunately, I'm not mother. So we're just gonna have to try and get the heck away from here. As you can see, her eye is actually bleeding. The same thing happens in Faith Chapter 2. And we don't want to get stuck in these boxes, otherwise it is impending doom if we don't get out of here. So thankfully, he doesn't actually leave. But the interesting thing is, on the 10th floor, where we actually threw our crucifix down in the first place, there is a note that states about the cult throwing down live objects, live people, possibly creatures, to try and satiate whatever was down in the basement where he was conveniently hiding all along. However, I'm not meant to tell you that, it's a secret until you find out it isn't. And also, one thing in this run is notes. Notes were a very important factor, especially in Fate Chapter 1. The more notes you picked up, the weaker the last boss got. However, in this run, we don't give two craps about that. We are skipping every note if possible. But the thing is, you need to avoid them only in the light. In the dark, it doesn't matter. You do not have to pick them up. So, as you can see, this is where we had dropped our crooks. We're trying to get it back because we need our trusty friend. We need them with us. This is our power. And now that I have, I'm just going to do a quick little pause buffer. So, because it doesn't work on everything, it does, however, work on 1, the door, as you would have seen earlier. 2, we can also use the pause buffering on items like this, which is used by the cult, and it's a mask, naturally. And they use those tools. If you pick up the notes, you're able to see there was a woman named Tiffany, who was one of the neighbors to Lisa Pearson, who was actually the person to get in touch with us. And she wasn't very happy with Amy being chosen by the cult to kind of invoke their entity, their deity, and decided to take it upon herself to go ahead and do it herself. Because she was the one who felt worthy. She felt she was the most worthy of everyone involved to take that title, let's say. And so that is the same gentleman we would have seen earlier. However, he is gone now. He's gone to bed. So good night, my sweet prince. So as soon as we climb up here, we want to start going down, like facing down onto this, and then go. Because there is actual RNG associated with this, and we don't want to get pulled back to the stairs because the demon who is now with us wants to take control. This is who we allege to be Malphus, who is actually noted in real literature as... he's noted in the Infernal Dictionary as well as the Lesser Key of Solomon. And in one of them, he is noted as being second in command to Satan, who holds a host of legion of spirits under his domain. So, we've basically gotten a nice little visit by that. So, as you noticed, that we did actually have a mask, which we had to go and exercise in order to get rid of part of the seal of Alu. The next is on floor 2. And we know this because we were in there already, so we have to go back in there just to get this little final item. There we go. And so naturally in Faith Spirit, there is a soul inhabiting the item, so we are basically cleansing it in order to get rid of the seal. So, why were we here this whole time? Lisa Pearson. And we haven't seen anything, eye nor tail, of that woman, so she's probably hiding in room 5A. So we're going to go back to 5A, especially now that the seal has been broken. So, last but not least, we are going to be getting ending 2 as aforementioned. However, the thing is, with that one, it's actually the shortest ending. With ending 1, you really have to kind of sometimes fight to get that. But with ending 2, it's a piece of cake. All we have to do is really stand beside her as much as possible and hope that she does not tear us apart. But essentially, yeah, if you wanted to do the sequence break, you just basically go to floor 3, 5, 2, and then into the basement, and it's fine. So you completely break the game. So we're going to do a little bit of a sequence break, and one little thing here is you can hide behind these. She can't go through them and she can't harm you. So it's a quick little way of just actually getting the demon out of her. So one thing now is we have to stand very close as possible. She does try to run away, but we need her beside us because we need to do that. And time. That's the run. Unfortunately, an unfortunate end to Lisa, but however, it was necessary. And so with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you also to Vysetra for being my emotional support, my support right here, my standing stone.
And quite also, all right.
And also, we have a quite tight-knit community in the Fate speedrunning area. So we have Fate Chapter 1, 2, and then naturally this as well. If you were interested in this sort of thing, I would highly recommend that you just pop on over, see if you like it, and get involved, because we would really love to have you on board. And also, naturally, I'll just say thank you very much for watching. I'm going to say very good luck to everyone on board, and I suppose if you want to see more, you can visit me over on Vanada at twitch.tv/Vanada. But with that being said, enjoy the event. Good luck to all the other runners, and I hope that you have a pleasant and safe day. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Vynn. Everyone, give it up for Vynn in that Faith Chapter 3 run. I want to get a quick donation here. We have Nicole Goodnight with $20 who said absolutely had to donate for one of my favorite runs and favorite runners, Vynn. Vynn, it's been amazing to watch what you've done with the Faith series and to learn from you as well. You're going to crush it. Oh, and don't forget to say hi to Lisa for me. Thank you, Nicole. We're going to take a short break and we will be right back. All right, welcome back. I want to talk about hotfix. Did you know speedrunning isn't limited to AGDQ and SGDQ? You can watch every weekday night at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern here on Games Done Quick with Hotfix. We have 22 different shows with specials on the weekends. For more information, go to gamesdonepquick.com/hotfix. And yeah, I mean, we have to talk about events, right? We got Frame Fatales marathons twice a year, Frost and Flame Fatales. We just did a GDQ Juneteenth celebration last weekend. I got to be a host and I was a part of that, celebrating Black independence. Obviously, give it up for that. But yeah, so GDQ Hotfix. Ice Flower donates $5, and they say, put this towards the Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. Thank you to Freedom to Flail for your $50 donation. They say, just found out about GDQ and think this is outstanding. I agree.